Every Glock you've ever owned has a feature built into it that the manual never mentions, the salesman never told you, and most YouTube reviews completely skip. Not a gimmick. A real, genuinely functional advantage engineered into the platform on purpose, hiding in plain sight on guns people have carried for decades, without ever knowing it was there. Glock has sold more pistols worldwide than any other handgun manufacturer in history, and yet most owners can only tell you the caliber and the capacity of the one sitting in their holster right now. We went through every major Glock model still in production in 2026 and found the one hidden advantage each one actually has. Most of these you've never heard explained clearly because most channels are too busy comparing trigger pull weights to actually dig into what makes each specific model genuinely different from the others. And the last one on this list changes how you think about the entire Glock lineup. Not because it's the most powerful or the most expensive, because once you understand it, you'll never look at the rest of this list the same way again. Let's get into it. Number 10. Glock 42. Everyone treats the Glock 42 as the forgettable one, the smallest, weakest option in the catalog, chambered in 380 ACP instead of 9mm. 6+1 capacity. Weight unloaded of 13.76 ounces. The hidden advantage nobody talks about is slide spring tension. The 42 uses a dramatically lighter recoil spring than any 9mm Glock, which means it's genuinely rackable by carriers with weak grip strength, arthritis, or hand injuries who cannot reliably operate a standard 9mm slide. It's also one of the few Glocks with a healthy aftermarket for threaded barrels, specifically because 380 ACP subsonic loads pair naturally with a suppressor for genuinely quiet home defense use. Most reviewers dismiss this gun outright because the caliber isn't exciting on a spec sheet next to bigger numbers. But for the exact carrier this gun was engineered for, someone who needs a Glock, they can actually operate reliably every single time. No other model in the entire lineup solves that specific problem as directly as the 42 does. Price approximately $430. Capacity 6+1. Best known for the easiest slide rack in Glock's entire lineup. Number 9. Glock 36. Most people forget Glock ever made a single stack. 45 ACP, and that's exactly why nobody talks about its hidden advantage. 6+1 capacity. Width of 1.14 inches. This is one of the thinnest 45 ACP pistols any major manufacturer has ever mass-produced. Everyone assumes a Glock chambered in 45 has to be the wide, double-stack G21. The 36 proves that assumption wrong entirely, delivering genuine 45 ACP stopping power in a frame barely wider than a compact 9mm. Price approximately $650. Capacity 6+1. Best known for the slimmest 45 ACP Glock ever produced. Number 8. Glock 29. The Glock 29 gets dismissed as a niche caliber gun for hunters, and that dismissal hides its real advantage. 10+1 capacity in 10mm. Weight unloaded of 23.99 ounces. This is the only subcompact 10mm platform from a major manufacturer that's actually been carried daily by real people for backcountry and rural carry, where wildlife threats genuinely matter, and 9mm energy numbers fall short. The polymer frame and steel reinforced insert have proven fully capable of absorbing full power 10mm chamber pressure for decades without the frame cracking issues that plagued early polymer 10mm competitors from other brands entirely. What almost nobody mentions is how compact this platform actually is relative to the round it fires. Most 10mm pistols on the market are full-size guns, built that way because manufacturers assume the cartridge demands a larger frame to handle recoil comfortably. The 29 proves that assumption wrong. Hikers, hunters, and rural property owners who need serious stopping power in a genuinely concealable package have quietly kept this model in production for years, even as flashier 9mm subcompacts dominate every YouTube thumbnail. Price approximately $650. Capacity 10+1. Best known for real 10mm power in a genuinely concealable subcompact frame. Number 7. Glock 20. The full-size Glock 20 in 10mm looks like a range toy to most carriers, but the hidden advantage here is about the slide, not the caliber. 15+1 capacity. Weight unloaded of 27.68 ounces. The 20's slide was engineered thicker and stronger than any other Glock to handle 10mm pressure, and that overbuilt design quietly made it one of the most popular platforms for red dot milling in the aftermarket because the extra material means machinists can cut deeper optic pockets without compromising slide integrity, the way thinner 9mm slides sometimes do. Price approximately $700. Capacity 15+1. Best known for handling the deepest optic cuts in Glock's lineup without weakening the slide. Number 6. Glock 30. The subcompact Glock 30 hides one of the smartest capacity tricks in the entire Glock catalog. 10+1 capacity and 45 ACP. Weight unloaded of 26.28 ounces. Because it shares the same magazine well dimensions as the full-size Glock 21, the 30 can run 21-round magazines directly, instantly turning a subcompact carry gun into a 13+1 home defense platform the moment you swap magazines. Almost nobody buying this gun ever gets told that. Price approximately $650. Capacity 10+1 standard, 13+1 with Glock 21 magazines. Best known for turning into a full-size capacity gun with one magazine swap. Number 5. Glock 26. Everyone knows the Glock 26 is small. Almost nobody talks about why that smallness barely matters. 10+1 capacity. Weight unloaded of 21.71 ounces. The 26 accepts every single 9mm Glock magazine ever manufactured, including 17, 19, and even 33-round extended magazines built for the Glock 18. That means the smallest 9mm Glock can instantly become the highest capacity 9mm Glock in existence, just by dropping in a different magazine. No other subcompact on the market offers that kind of magazine flexibility. This matters most for carriers who already own a Glock 19 or 17 as a duty or home defense gun. Buy one single box of magazines and suddenly your backup gun and your primary gun share the exact same ammunition supply chain. Run out of 26 specific magazines at your local store during a shortage, and it genuinely does not matter because every full-size Glock magazine on every shelf in the country works in this exact gun without any modification at all. Price approximately $550. Capacity 10+1 standard, unlimited with larger Glock magazine. Best known for accepting more magazine variety than any other subcompact pistol made. Number 4. Glock 43X. The 43X gets credit for being slim. What almost nobody explains is why the MOS version quietly broke new ground in the optics market. 10+1 standard capacity, 15+1 with shield arms magazines. Slide width of 1.1 inches. Most slimline pistols from other manufacturers couldn't be milled for red dots without compromising frame width tolerances, because thin slides and optic cuts don't naturally coexist. Glock solved that engineering problem quietly with the 43X MOS, and it became the blueprint every competitor has been copying since, without ever crediting where the idea actually started. Price approximately $530. Capacity 10+1 standard, 15+1 with shield arms. Best known for solving the optics on a slimline frame problem before anyone else did. Number 3. Glock 48. The 48 constantly gets overshadowed by its shorter sibling in nearly every single comparison video ever made, and that's a mistake almost every reviewer keeps making. 10+1 standard capacity, 15+1 with shield arms magazines, slide width of 1.1 inches, barrel length of 4.17 inches. The hidden advantage is sight radius. Same exact width as the 43X, but a longer slide means a longer distance between front and rear sight, which translates directly into better practical accuracy at range without giving up a single millimeter of concealment width. Almost every video comparing slimline Glocks skips this entirely and defaults to recommending the shorter gun out of habit. Price approximately $560. Capacity 10+1 standard, 15+1 with shield arms. Best known for better accuracy at the exact same concealment width as its shorter sibling. Number 2. Glock 19. The most carried Glock on the planet, and the hidden advantage isn't a feature. It's the entire ecosystem built around it. 15+1 capacity, weight unloaded of 23.63 ounces. There is no other handgun platform on earth with a deeper aftermarket. Long slides, ported slides, threaded barrels, complete caliber conversion kits in 9mm, 40 and 357 SIG-E competition trigger groups, entire frame replacements. One serialized lower can become dozens of functionally different pistols depending on which parts you bolt onto it. Most owners never explore past a red dot and a holster, completely unaware how far this specific platform can actually go. Think about what that actually means in practice. A shooter could buy one Glock 19 and over the course of several years, transform it into a competition race gun with a compensated slide, then swap back to a stock duty configuration for concealed carry, then bolt on a different caliber barrel entirely for a range day, all using the same original frame they bought on day one. No other pistol platform in mass production offers that level of genuine transformation without buying an entirely separate firearm for each role. Price approximately $580. Capacity 15 plus 1. Best known for the deepest aftermarket ecosystem of any handgun ever produced. Number 1. Glock 17. Here's the hidden advantage nobody predicted, and it changes how you should think about every Glock on this entire list. 17 plus 1 capacity. Weight unloaded of 24.87 ounces. The real hidden advantage of the Glock 17 isn't a spec sheet number at all. It's the frame. Glock built their entire lineup around a philosophy almost no other manufacturer commits to as fully or as consistently across every single model they've released since the company's founding decades ago. The serialized part, the actual legal firearm, is the polymer frame itself, not the slide or barrel. That single design decision means a Glock 17 frame can accept different slide and barrel combinations to functionally become a completely different pistol without buying an entirely new gun. Aftermarket conversion barrels and complete upper assemblies exist to shift a 17 into 40 caliber configurations, into long slide competition setups, into threaded suppressor ready builds, all bolted onto the exact same frame you already legally own. That means the gun most people think of as just a duty pistol is actually the most modular firearm platform most owners never realize they're sitting on. You don't need to buy 5 different Glocks for 5 different purposes. You need one frame and a drawer full of parts. Almost nobody explains this clearly because most channels are busy comparing spec sheets instead of explaining what the platform is actually capable of becoming. Think about how differently you'd shop for your next Glock if you actually understood this going in. Instead of buying a second full pistol for a different role, a huge percentage of what people spend money on could simply be parts swapped onto the frame they already legally own. That's not a marketing angle Glock advertises loudly, because slide and barrel sales generate less profit per unit than selling someone an entirely new complete pistol. But the engineering has been sitting there in every single Glock 17 built since the platform launched, waiting for owners to actually take advantage of it. That's the hidden advantage tying this entire list together. Every Glock on this countdown has its own individual trick. The 17 is the reminder that the whole lineup was engineered around one frame, doing far more than anyone gives it credit for. Price approximately $600. Capacity 17 plus 1. Best known for being the single most modular firearm platform in modern production. 10 Glocks. 10 hidden advantages most owners never knew existed, sitting quietly inside guns people have carried for years without ever reading the fine print on what the platform could actually do. If you learned something new about a gun you already own, that's exactly the point of this video. Glock doesn't advertise half of what these platforms are actually capable of, and most channels never dig deep enough to explain it clearly. That's the gap this channel exists to fill. One model at a time, one hidden detail at a time. Hit that like button right now if this taught you something about your own Glock you didn't know 5 minutes ago. Subscribe right now for more deep dives like this one, because there's a lot more hiding in plain sight across other brands too. Drop a comment telling us which model you own, and whether you already knew its hidden advantage or just found out right now watching this. Stay safe, stay trained, and know exactly what the gun in your hand can actually do.